Ode is fetching Major Fleet. And Kezia, are you fetching a net?
Yes, I'd be heading over to fetch Annie, or at
Okay.
least to go find her.
Okay. Then I would like. What does. What does the inside of the city look like as you're just tearing across it trying to find a net?
I would imagine extremely hectic, as this is right after the mobs that have basically started forming out front of the city, especially around the bastion. Um, though most of this is seen from, like, if we're looking at an aerial sort of view, we'd be looking at a sort of aerial view as Kezia is leaping over rooftops, trying to get to wherever it is she needs to be searching, heading towards the slums.
Okay. As Kezia is dashing across rooftops and evading just guards just that are sprinting all over the place, what are some of the difficulties that she encounters?
Well, straight off the bat, I would imagine just the general trying to get around building. Like, she can't jump through everything. She has to, like, hardcore parkour her way through it, and will probably fail at some aspects, or, like, have to get around, at which point she'll have to drop down to street level in order to get to an area where she can scale the buildings again. That would
Oh,
be difficult.
okay. Make an
What?
acrobatics check.
Yeah. No, 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 no. I
Quite
refuse.
literally the worst
I
that you
refuse. I
could
refuse.
possibly
I
do.
refuse. I refuse.
You
Better.
refuse?
Yeah.
How did you did you burn an inspiration for
I
it?
did. I did.
Okay.
What was the inspiring thing?
Good question.
The thing that inspired you?
I refuse.
No, she was like, no. Basically, she was like probably slipped on an oil slick, and her mind briefly flashed to Annie's just like face palm, as like she trips on this stupid thing, and stands up and keeps running.
Okay. As you're darting through, and as you narrowly avoid just that oil slick, which there is more than enough around for you to get caught on and not to be blamed for it, not the Weaves Guard, the Skinny Walkers, just with placing all their fire bombs all over the city, they did some prep work, and you certainly have found some of the after trail of their handiwork. As you move through, though, you're able to evade it. What direction do you head towards the city? Where do you move? Where does your gut take you to where Annie would be?
It's the slums area.
Okay. As you move towards the slums, I want you to make an investigation check.
I never can remember where investigation is. 17.
They're ordered alphabetically.
Like,
Yeah.
with 17, as you go through and you're darting through the slums, you know these areas well, as we've gone into excruciating detail over, but you start trying to anticipate both where the Weasguard would be moving through with their attention distracted, and where most likely the menagerie is going to be searching, owing to the circumstances where you left the Archeron. Roll intelligence.
Didn't we just do?
Yeah, this is for something different.
Okay. 14.
Your mind kind of goes over, and as you're ducking into an alley, you see a member of the menagerie moving through the city. They're clearly unpacking something or trying to move it towards just a different area of the city, away from the fires. And you think about how you have to avoid them because of the Archeron. The Archeron. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. None of you ever got rid of that body. There's no time for that right now. You realize immediately the colossal nature of that particular mistake, but you have to find a net, you have to go anyway. Ultimately, that doesn't change anything other than a dawning realization about all of you. And you eventually are able to move through. You're able to find your way into the old, half-burnt down, half-abandoned university. If nothing else, this was a place that the two of you trained isn't the right word, but practiced your abilities at, and you start ascending, if for no other reason than to find your way to kind of the highest point, just to get a better grasp of the situation evolving in the city. And once up there, you actually do find Annette. She is sitting there. There is a dead body immediately beside her, clearly stabbed to death. And she is watching out towards the city with kind of just this little pail of binoculars. It almost looks like theater-like binocular. It looks like she looted this off of somebody rather than brought her home pair.
The person who she stabbed, not someone I recognize, right?
Not immediately. Look it over. Seems like probably. It's hard to tell. We've scarred our town guard. No one of particular note.
Okay. Annie.
Kezia.
We need to go. We need to go right now.
I can tell. So, and she immediately just starts packing up and following your lead, like no hesitation at all. So, did it work? How's it going? As you guys are just parkouring your way, Assassin's Creed style, off the buildings and just moving your way away.
Okay, how do you have such long legs? This is not fair. Okay.
She is kind of keeping ahead of you right now.
No, she's
not. Hold on. You using magic?
I have mobile feet. I don't know.
Then she's keeping pace with you.
Yes, I can accept that. I don't remember. No. Yeah, everything's great. Everyone lived. We got out of the city, had to come back, got you. We're out of the city. Everyone else is out except for you, which is why we need to get out now.
Okay, then let's move. Any complications from A? Anything unexpected in the bastion? Is there anything I need to know right now, or can we just move?
To know right now as we're running. But can I tell? I need to update you on some things.
Roll persuasion. She slows her roll. Kezia, I need to know this now. Whatever it is, you can trust me. You can trust me right now. She's not stopping at this point, to be clear. She's just slowing her roll like, come on, before we get into anything.
I wait until we are on a solid state, on a solid roof that is not near an edge. So A's dead.
Eyes like dinner plates. Oh.
Come on. Out. For more than one reason right now. Out.
She stops her roll.
God damn it, Annie. That does not mean that you can take over.
That's not what I want. How did he die? Dead stop. Just staring you. Just, not even staring you down. Just like very intensely focused on you. How did he die?
I hand her dagger back.
Ooh.
Oh.
Kezia?
Yeah.
What is Kezia's ideal outcome at this moment?
Her not to stab Kezia.
Annette looks over the dagger for just a moment. And you notice that there's even still just a little bit of blood on the edge. You mostly wiped it clean, but there's just this small hint of it still, just staining the edge of the blade. She looks it over, looks at you, kind of spins it in the air and catches on the blade, hands it back to you. Good. Let's go. And starts going after and starts following you. Make just one stealth check for the both of you.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Why did you roll 2 d20s and then roll a 20 and a 1 though?
Oh, the first one was for the effectively insight against your persuasion. The one was for something else.
Okay.
I'll say... let's roll. Just see one thing.
I didn't roll the best. I haven't been.
Annie covered it. Annie covers it.
That's good. That's good.
It's entirely silent between the two. Kezia isn't exactly the most talkative, not the most conversational, but Annette occasionally like to rib on you, crack a few jokes, at least try to like kind of get a reaction out of you. You distinctly remember this, and while it was a little more malicious in the last few days, it softened and went back to normal of just like she likes to get under your skin just to get under your skin. She is stone silent the entire time and just kind of guide and under your guidance follows your guys' escape route, the badger hole prepared by Artug the last couple of days, and you guys are able to get away without any issue. Even along the way, you actually see Joro kind of manning the entrance to it as per your guys' request. Hey, man. Oh, you're serious. Let's go. Okay.
Let's go.
All right, fine. Jesus. And you all continue along the way back. You're able to find your camp. There's no significant issue. You get back a little before Ode does. Ode, just in the midst of the chaos, you're just having trouble finding Major Fleet. He's probably at the heart of it, owing to him being being the captain of the leader of the town guard. But eventually, Ode finds Major Fleet. There's a small bit of initial hesitation, but as soon as you bring up that you have his daughter and are trying to bring him to it, immediately starts following you and starts allowing you to take the lead. And you all are able to reconverge. Every single member of the party, including now Jorah, Ernest, Gabrielle, Major Fleet, and Annette, as well as Miguel the Pyromancer. She's just kind of vibing right now and hanging out. Seems to be looking over at some trees with something in their eye, but isn't acting on anything immediately. The
David,
collective party.
As I recall, I thought someone else might not be able to or I don't know. I wanted you to describe like Major Fleet reuniting with his daughter, so you're able to do that. But you also said something about the Pyromancer, just like once we were in the woods, was like, cool, see ya, and like ran away. Does anyone else remember that?
It sounds entirely possible.
Yeah,
It rings a bell.
It
Okay,
sounds
well-
like something David would do to get out of having to describe more things with them.
Well,
Oh,
either
hey,
way.
you notice the Pyromancer walk towards and say, later, and walk back to rejoin the group, for some reason glaring at Byron.
Perfect.
What did I do?
You will be cleansed in the flames to come.
Oh no.
No, I'm kidding.
Why
I just do it for I do it for myself. I don't need to ascribe my actions to a higher being. Anyway.
No, I just didn't know if that was easier for you, if that's what you wanted them to do. But if they're here with us, that is fine.
I think there can be some fun moments potentially, or if they walk away, they walk away. We'll leave that to be decided later.
Alrighty.
But Ode, do you brief what do you tell Major Fleet other than you have his daughter? He is definitely coming with you. You get the sense no matter what you do, he will continue to follow you for the sole reason of finding his daughter. What do you
Ode
brief him
is
on?
like all about sharing knowledge. So I think like on the way there, she's like telling him like everything he would need to know about what they knew about Gabrielle's situation and how there's like she has magical powers, but she's scared of them. Or as much as Ode understands, because she was largely like outside the hallway, but was like very briefly briefed in Murray's Tavern, or kind of like picked up on the situation in Murray's Tavern. And that like we have someone who will be able to train her in Cathartis, and we have 2 other people who we also want to send to Cathartis with them, and that we think he should come to Cathartis to be with his daughter, and that the city just isn't a safe place for his daughter. And just kind of telling him all this, and like maybe keeping an eye on his reaction, but like not stopping, just like because she's like he needs to know this to like make good decisions for his daughter.
For sure. Okay, roll insight then.
Ooh, okay.
Hard to read. He's very hard to read. He has been in the midst of battle for several hours, so he is quite literally like dirty, caked in blood, and exhausted.
Also, if it would be possible, Ode would have like tried to guide him home to like pack clothes and get like money if they needed, but I don't know if that would have been possible.
You see, for a second you start doing that, and you start guiding him home, and he immediately just gives you like a glare, almost like, and it's just like, I don't give a shit. Let's get my daughter first. Like, entirely shuts down. You in fact even see with that, you see like a wallet at his side, not the most substantial, but like he has at least a bit on him, and is way more concerned about finding his daughter.
That makes sense. So yeah, Ode would just lead him back to where she knew the party was.
Okay.
I think probably not revealing like too much about the party ourselves, unless he like would specifically probe her for that.
Honestly, he is just he is a torpedo hurtling towards getting his daughter back. He does not ask questions at all. But as you all move, you all eventually see about 3.5 miles outside the city, Ode kind of cresting over a hill at your guys' impromptu camp. And with that, you see this very tall human man with a bastard sword on his back, like very well maintained and polished plate armor that is caked in just blood and dirt and just grime from having been engaged in a fight for several hours. And he looks over all of you. Where is Gabrielle in the group, would you guys say?
I wouldn't be surprised if she was sitting with Zeka.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Probably sticking close to him because he's the one who managed to finally bond with her enough to get her to leave.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll say sitting with Zeka, she seems just very reserved and quiet the entire time. Just everything has kind of made her very nervous, and it's just like, she doesn't want to rock the boat, basically. As you see her father appear over the side, Zeka, roll inside.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
You sense a lot of nervousness in her. Just period. Not like fear of her death.
Go ahead.
Think of it like if a kid got caught smoking at school and their parent was coming in. They're not afraid of their parent, but they're afraid of the circumstance surrounding their parent coming.
That makes sense, yeah.
Immediately, though, you all see this man crest the hill, and you all see him look and just scan over it and lock eyes with Gabrielle. And immediately start running towards her. Do you all do anything?
I think Byron would get to his feet.
Yeah, I think Zeka will
watch
be
carefully.
Artuk, remembering her concerns yesterday with hurting things she touches with the magic she can't control, is going to just stand with a close eye on her and her demeanor and her hands, everything about her, and be ready with the Dispel Magic spell if it's required.
Smart.
So, would you say you hold your action for that?
The issue is if I hold an action to cast a spell, the spell fizzles at the end of the held round, so I would have to, like, guess when she's going to do it within 6 seconds.
Okay. We'll come back to that in just a second. Okay, I have a fun little thing for that, I think. Okay. But immediately, though, you see him just run towards her and just pull her into a massive hug. No one needs to roll insight to see this man is just utterly relieved, and you see just like tears just streaming down his face and just of Gabrielle's face as well, as they are just reunited for presumably the first time in weeks, months. You guys don't know exactly how long Gabrielle was with the Weascard, only enough that he resigned from his post to assume the search because it was gone so long that it dominated his life. This goes on for just some time as the two are reunited. Artuk, roll insight.
Sure thing. I'm good at that. Let me find my character sheet. Insight. 25.
Okay. As you see this, you see just like Gabrielle in particular, like was expecting like she's a kid fundamentally. She doesn't quite understand that her dad is probably just happy that she is safe. She was expecting to be yelled at, talked down, punished, something. And here her father is just on his knees, just hugging her, just to support her and cradle her, just because she's safe. And it's just overwhelming for her. You see her, like, hand shake, just tears run down her face. And you see just the very, very beginning of just, like, magic begin to crackle at her hands. I want you to roll a d6. You have advantage.
Okay.
Because of the insight.
A 6. And I don't know if a high or low was good, but I got a high and a low, a 6 and a 2.
The one you wanted was a 6, so good work.
Nice.
As you do that, because 6 seconds in time, you see the spell begin to materialize, and you and you just shoot a dispel magic at her immediately, and you see just it dissolve in her hands. She doesn't even seem to be conscious that she was about to do it. But I also want you to roll a d20 because you guys are still in the midst of a wild magic storm.
Oh shit.
That would be a 5.
You're fine.
Cool.
Okay. But yeah, you see this magic just fade as the two begin to kind of reunite and just speak and check in. We don't need to go over the exact details so much as you guys can all just see the scene. While they're doing this, what is everyone else doing?
I'll pop over and just kind of at least try to presto the blood off of the dad while they're talking, just so that he's less terrifying looking.
You know what? Fair play. Fair play.
Did Annie and Kezia did they come back out around this time too, or are we waiting on them?
Yeah, they are back as well. Annette and Kezia got back, I'll say just a little bit before Ode. Annette has been shock silent. Just kind of watching over everything and is now like somewhat intently watching this scene between Gabrielle and Major Fleet. But otherwise, no comment.
I think before the dad showed up, Zeka was like kind of sort of giving some like very, very, very basic like magic lessons to Gabrielle just to like kind of start guiding her in the right direction. Like the equivalent of like teaching someone the pawn moves forward 2 spaces in chess, you know, like very, very low level. And then once he got there, I think...
Roll just persuasion, okay?
Sorry, say that again?
Could you roll persuasion for me?
Oof, okay. Oh, that's right, she doesn't like magic.
Do I have advantage?
You in fact have disadvantage. No, you have neutral because you formed a bond with her, but she's inherently against it.
Gotcha. Well, it's a good old -1 to this roll. Oh, shit.
Imagine if your friend was caught smoking cigarettes at school and her dad was about to come in.
And you were trying to tell her how to smoke cigarettes.
Yes. In fact, yes. You sense she is ashamed and shut down to the idea, at least in the current moment.
Also, Ernie
I think he would give up pretty quickly then, based on that.
Ernie is there too, right?
Oh, good observation. You notice Ernest is distinctly not trying to do anything to interfere. He looks like... No one needs to roll. Basically, his shoulders are arched. He seems very stressed out about being here. And, like, he is regarding Zeka and keeping Zeka close, but, like... is not like doing any magic, is not doing anything. He is just keeping his eyes on Zeka right now and like darting around the party, darting to the horizon. if Zeka goes for it, Ernest basically just offers a weak, like, not right now. Not right now. Not right. Oi there. Boyer in black. No,
What?
Ernest basically goes
He's going
around.
crazy.
Ernest is kind of just offering a weak, like, not right now, my boy.
Okay. Yeah, I think Zeka. He rolled a pretty decent insight earlier. I think he recognizes that now is not the time for chicanery, so he'll just kind of keep to himself.
Alrighty. Just around the group then, what is everyone up to?
I mean, I was definitely just keeping the eye on, playing lifeguard on their reuniting. That's sort of Artek's thing right now.
Okay.
Morak is actively writing like 6 letters so that they can properly get into Cathartis, and then also like instructions on how to get there.
Okay. I will remind you guys that you never got Jorah wasn't there, nor was Annette, so you never actually got the okay from them. Ernest was there, but you just haven't asked his opinion on the plan. He was just mostly silent.
That was my next step.
Yeah, I was just waiting for the reunite scene to be over before we got to that.
Right. I was actually gonna have Ode kind of go over to Byron and say like, Byron, is this a safe place to camp for tonight? You think?
Let me take a quick look around. Let me sort of, investigate the area to the best of my ability.
Go ahead.
Ooh.
Well, does it seem safe?
From Weavesguard. There's a wild
Well, it
magic
appears-
storm still about. You're a little bit into the woods. You sense it could be fine as long as you set guard.
So long as we keep watch and don't throw out too much magic, we should be fine.
Right. Sounds good. We'll set up a watch, and as soon as they're done, and she kind of nods to Gabrielle and Major Fleet. She's like, I'll kind of maybe explain our plan to everyone.
I think that'd be a good idea.
And quite good timing, in fact, as at this point, Major Fleet and Gabrielle have kind of just a break where they are just... He's basically just calming her down and telling her everything is going to be fine. And he's just like, I'm going to go right over here. He immediately sensed that Zeka was, at the very least, hovering around her, and just and looks over him, sees the goat legs, and has a moment of just like almost biting his lip, looks around, and just is like, stay with this lad, he seems like a good lot, and walks over to Ode. You all have my frankly unending thanks for bringing me back my daughter. You explained some along the way, but to be frank, I had a moment of tunnel vision along the way. You said that we would be heading to a distant city. Is that correct? Regarding the whole party, with the exception of Gabrielle.
Yes, I
Oh.
think... Oh,
Sorry,
no?
my audio was being weird for a second. I meant to say.
It's
yeah.
fine, Ode. I mean, it was a little bit rude, but you can say what you want.
No, Ode just said yeah when she said heading to a distant city. So if Morak wanted to say something, then.
Oh, no, I mean, that's all you had to say, Ode. That's fine. I just don't know why you interrupted me. But yes, sir, what's your name again?
Major Sebastian
Fleet.
Fleet.
Major Fleet. I'm sorry, I haven't met him before. It's not a proper introduction. Hi, I'm Morak. But basically, I was taught by a mage who specialized in fire magic in Cathartis. I'm actively working on getting you guys letters and papers to get safe passage in the city. You could stay with my family, and she would be safe and learn how to control her powers.
And I guess just to jump off that, we have kind of our little crew that we've been traveling with, but with Joro and Ernalis and Annette, she kind of says their names to get their attention. Well, because Harry and Magi seems like it's not really a safe city for you, or she kind of looks to Annette like it probably is a safe city for you, but still, we thought that if you wanted to go to Cathartus too and I don't know, study magic or continue to just live in a safer place, then you might be able to both help Major Fleet and Gabrielle get there, and then be in a place where we could check in with you easier than trying to get back to Harry and Magi. So that was our idea for if you're interested. We obviously don't want to force anyone to do it, but that was kind of the idea we had. And then we didn't really want to go back to Cathartus right now because we wanted to investigate some stuff up north of here, but yeah.
You
That's how
you see Annette look kind of respond or look over it, look over at Joro, the fleets, at you, and then her eyes kind of linger on Kezia. Yeah, I can do that. I can keep them safe. No issues.
We can set up camp tonight and potentially talk if we need to talk. Kind of gesturing towards Kezia and Annette.
That's fine. I can head out tonight, but if they need a rest, it makes no difference to me. Major Fleet interjects immediately. Oh God. Her powers, are they permanent? Do you all know that?
They almost certainly are.
Oh, you don't need to roll. You see this. You just see a silent fuck escape his lips, and just like this point of like tension go across his face. Seems like he's thinking about stuff. Okay.
No,
You said Cathartus would be the place to refine this. Do you happen to have any notes on how this began? This one is to the wider group.
How this what?
How this began.
Her magic, or what?
Yes.
Well, like Cathartus, because I could give you the history on that right now.
I think that is better saved for an exposition dump when it becomes more relevant, such as when you're visiting. However, I was referring to her abilities.
I mean, I started to see a lot more of my abilities come into play after this happened to me. Sometimes the weave...
He pales.
Well, okay, to be clear, I got a lot of my powers after this happened to me. She already has her powers, so the chances of her getting sheep legs, not goat legs, are pretty low, I would say, at this point.
But let me be clear.
Like, I would say, if there are like 6 million people on this planet, I would probably say like 1 in 6 million chance that she will get goat legs. Sheep, fuck. So, shoot,
I don't think there's
sorry.
6 million people on the planet.
How many do you think there are?
I was thinking like...
6 billion.
No, I was thinking like 6,000.
I mean, what are people? Because like all humans.
You know what?
People?
We can get back to this. I think we need to reassure this man some more.
You recall that there's some census data, pre-war, admittedly, in some of the Cerulean Eye archives. You can go back to that later.
Oh, okay, great. No, Otis has no concept of how many people are.
Yeah, to be fair, 6 million that's a big thing to conceptualize. Like, I don't think anyone...
Ode works on small numbers, and what she's seen alone, she's convinced there's 85 people on the planet.
Yeah, she said like 60.
Funny.
I'm gonna sort of just quietly walk up towards Major Fleet, and I'm gonna sort of just tug on his shoulder for a moment, just give him a tap, and I'll look at him and tell him, "Hey, sorry to interject here. I'm not really making the big decisions here, and I don't have a lot to say about when it happened or what the ramifications are of your daughter being able to do stuff like that and everything. But forgive me if I seem like I'm overstepping my bounds here a little bit because I'm a fair bit younger than you, and as a result, probably a little less wise to the ways of the world. But I can't help but see a familiar look in your eye right there to something I've been through not all that long ago here. I had a life I liked a whole lot and never really thought anything odd of or thought that I want anything different. And all of a sudden, without me asking for it, I got what I considered a curse that made me dangerous and problematic and ended the life the easy, happy life I thought I was living. And I had a lot of struggle and trouble with that, especially early on with it, and didn't really know what to do about it. And left home looking for anything, any way to stop it I possibly could find, anything I could do about it I possibly could find, and it still scares me to this damn day. I haven't figured out any of the answers I went looking for. But the thing that I sort of started to realize along the way is that things got a whole lot easier when I saw enough of the world to open my mind up a little bit to thinking that maybe this thing that I've got is only a curse if I call it that. And if I decide to give it another name or call it something different, well, there was nothing about it inherently making it a curse. It was just my perspective doing that. So, I don't know. Maybe take a deep breath here, and if you're willing to look at your daughter in a light that is not the one that you're inherently sort of wanting to think through just based on your experiences, open your mind a little bit to the idea that it might be not such a bad thing, even if it seems like it is right now. We're giving you the means to go and try to hone this and make it a part of her instead of making it instead of dealing with it. If you embrace it, it's going to get easier.
Artie, as you say all of that, you see like tension, anger, confusion, and just all this mix of emotions go over his face. At the end of it, though, he looks at you, and through somewhat gritted teeth, magic cost me my wife, her mother. It cost me my brother, and it cost me countless friends. And you see just his grip just around himself, around his hand. It's just like incredibly tense. But he looks over at his daughter, and it relaxes. I won't let it cost me my daughter. And he just kind of regards, I would say Artuk, Ode, and Morak are kind of and Byron actually as well, are the kind of four that are the most immediately in front of him. If this is what you all believe is best for her, I will follow your advice, and I will do my damnedest to keep her safe in this way. And he lowers, and he kind of walks over to Morak. So how will we be moving towards her? He begins to talk logistics with Morak at this exact moment.
I don't need to roleplay that, but Morak's heavily into talking about logistics.
Oh, I had a feeling you would enjoy that. But yeah, he seems more concerned about his daughter than about being scared of his daughter.
Yeah, and you see Morak like put down like 6 letters and a little fold-out pamphlet map, and each one has like very fancy wax seals on them, and like written like when you open these and shit like that. And then you also see him just take out his coin purse and give it to him.
Oh shit.
You actually see, as you were doing that, you see Major Fleet was also reaching for his coin purse and was on the verge of handing it to you. And it's like, oh.
So now that's approximately 299 gold. I don't know how I'm missing one. But
you see
yeah,
Bailey scampering away.
That should cover you for this trip.
Shit.
He very humbly and very slowly takes it with shaking hands, sets it to his pocket and kind of adds it to his pouch, pulls out his bastard sword and presents it in front of Morak.
Oh.
And takes a knee in front of him.
You have a knight, my sir.
What are you? Is it? Thank you. I pick it up. How does it look? Like, what's it look like?
You could call it a masterwork.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
I owe you, for my daughter's safety, I owe all of you so much more, and I will find a way to repay you beyond just a simple trinket like that. Thank you all. Thank you all so very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Barn will pop over, slap him on the back, and say, "Oi, lad, it's all good. Happy to help."
He kind of lets out a chuckle, but as he kind of begins to stand up, he makes direct eye contact with Morak. My name is Major Sebastian Fleet. Any moment that you have need of my call, I will be there to assist all of you in whatever way you need. You have my word. And he extends a hand out to Morak specifically.
Morak shakes his hand. But like the orcish way, so it's a little bit awkward at first.
It's just,
It's the 2-finger one, where they're like
Yes.
the 2 fingers, and that's within the 2 fingers.
Oh.
it takes him a second. It's just like...
only limp fish handshake.
Oh, that's even worse.
After a moment
I
of
was thinking-
awkwardness, though.
It's
When I
so
was in-
jarring because you expect it to be strong, but then when it's weak, it's like, not only is it a limp fish handshake, it's like, oh, I was expecting.
You were
So much
expecting like
more.
the Klingon arm grab.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, it's very much like a, it's a submissive type thing. Like, both of you guys are like, yes, we are doing this right now, and you both just like lackadaisically put your hands against each other.
I really
And
like
just
that.
let them sit there.
And then you make out.
Just a little bit.
There's a little bit.
It's like they're kind of like Italians, where you make out a little bit.
So anyway,
Did that just stun David? Is he done?
You know, originally
Was
I
adding
was going
something to roll
go
20.
for the Ghanaian handshake, where it was very jarring because it's a normal handshake, but when you're leaving, you grab each other's fingers and you literally snap them.
Oh, jeez.
And it was just like I got used to it after a week, but it was very weird.
In any case,
So it's kind of like both of those together.
Major Fleet, after this awkwardness and jarring, not regretting as well, but a little bit caught off guard, returns to his daughter and is just spending time with her. Morak, you may add to your inventory Vanguard's Honor. It is a +1 longsword.
He said it was a bastard sword.
There's no fucking bastard sword mechanic in D&D, so it's going to be a +1 longsword.
yeah, fuck you, Carson.
A bastard sword's a great sword.
No, this one seems to be a
No,
longsword.
I thought bastard swords were like,
It's 1.5
like rogue
sword.
swords.
It doesn't matter.
No. Oh no, bastard swords are fucking huge.
Oh.
It's Longclaw from Game of Thrones, but in any
Hey,
case,
hold
it is a
on.
long
Look, I
sword.
gotta come in here. Bastard sword is a hand and a half. It's between a long sword and a great sword. I would more liken it to a long sword like David did. Plus, with the mechanic of versatile for the long sword, I would say it's definitely a long sword mechanically.
You guys brought out the angry Eric.
You brought up
Yeah,
pole arms. He's pissed.
Big deal.
Yeah, we just got the expert fucking opinion.
In any case, yes, Vanguard's Honor, +1 longsword.
Oh, it's all just fucking up.
And he returns to.
I think
he returns
this
to his
one
daughter.
article is saying that a longsword is the same as a bastard sword.
Wait, Mary.
Well, that's just ridiculous.
What source are you using?
I'm using battlingblades.com.
Oh, liberal
Everyone
propaganda.
knows that they don't fact check. Like, come on. I prefer battlingblades.gov.
If you go to Glades, glazedonly.org. It'll have the actual information.
But please don't mistake it for glazeonly.org. You definitely don't want to go there.
It actually just
Which is a
redirects.
porn
No,
site.
you don't want to go there.
Glavesonly.org doesn't exist.
It was.
Guys, who wants to hop on that IP?
Don't worry, I'll just have it all redirect to the YouTube channel.
There you go. Just buy all of those.
Alrighty. But Major Fleet returns to his daughter and seems pretty determined to just spend time with her.
I think Zeka will read the room and kind of give them some space to be together, since it's been a while, obviously, and he'll go sit next to Ernie.
Ernie is in the midst of kind of a casual conversation with Joro, where Joro seems to be kind of taking point on it. But yeah.
J-Man?
Yeah, Z-Man?
I'm just saying hi.
Oh, hey, man. I feel like we said man a lot there. Sorry, I've made this incredibly awkward. Now, as I was saying, it begins to include Zeka in the conversation.
Cool.
What would you guys like to do next?
Well, I kind of wanted to figure out, like, what Joro and Ernelis's plan was, but I know Ernie's, like, kind of out of it right now, so I don't know if that's a later thing, or...
If you guys want to make it now, it can be now.
Are they not going to Cathartus as well?
That's what I thought was happening.
You guys are coming to Cathartus, right?
Are you... Oh, man, Joro, obviously. Listen, I absolutely love that idea. I love it. I love the idea of protecting a little prodigy like this. I love the idea of not being points towards Harry Magi in that hellhole, points to the wastes, anywhere near that chicanery. I personally love that idea. I'm all for it. No opposition from here.
Really thought there was a butt coming.
Yeah,
No.
I also assumed a butt was coming.
Everyone, guys, while I was in that city, I was poisoned and had my hand stabbed. When I was outside of that city, I was poisoned and put into a net and then brought to that city where I was poisoned and had my hand stabbed. I'm so down with visiting a nice city with zero risk. All those weird ruins, I think I'm done with them for a while. Maybe I'll come and tackle them again later. Maybe I won't. We'll see. But for right now, Joro's going on vacation, and he puts on sunglasses.
Where did he even
So
get those?
cool, Joro.
Thanks, man. Anyway.
Are those on his eyes?
Oh, I borrowed them from a drow. Anyway.
So, is y'all's plan just to chill? I thought that y'all were like trying to do something in the city before.
Oh no, I was trying to do stuff, well, I was exploring those ruins, and as I've said, I'm quite finished with that topic for the time being. If you all want to do that, that's fine, but not me. Old Joro's checking out of that particular plot for at least a little bit, and Ernie here? Well, I can't speak for him, he has to make his own decisions.
Ernie?
Ernie, please speak for your decisions.
Yes, sorry, still quite dazed. I was hoping to... Zeka, where are you headed?
Cathartus?
Cathartus.
Or wherever you're going also, because I've missed you.
Excellent. Then, yes, I will admit I've had my fair share of the city, but for the moment at least, I'd like to be certain that you find someplace safe and can be away from all of this.
Yeah. Do you think we can help you to get better? You seem pretty fucked up. No offense.
In what particular way?
Like, can you cast spells still?
Well, I'm currently lacking my spell book, unfortunately, but let me see what I can do. He begins to kind of You see him like kind of look around. Do any of you have a piece of paper?
Zeka looks at
All of
Ode.
us?
Yeah, we all look at Ode
Everyone
like
looks
as
at
it's like
Ode.
a cartoon.
Ode was standing, like literally just standing there, like you know how her little emoji is like just always kind of staring up into the sky. She was just doing that, like looking at the vines and the trees, and then sees everyone staring at her and just kind of like looks around, and then it's like, oh, and then just like dumps her bag like onto the mossy dirt, and papers go flying out of it.
Perfect.
You see him go over and pick up one of the papers and just grab a pen, pencil, whatever from somewhere, and begins to a charcoal, perfect, and begins to kind of draw a rune onto the paper. It takes just a second, and he taps it, and you see light kind of the paper kind of fold inward, and kind of a globe of light begin to float up. Well, at least... Excuse me. Well, it seems there's at least some...
He can't do
potential
magic
there.
right now.
That cough was in canon. It would seem that there's at least that as well.
Does
Oh,
he have
wow.
to roll wild magic?
Not on cantrips. Until I can reclaim my spell book, I'm afraid I'll be somewhat limited.
Where is it?
He looks over at Harry Magi.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck that, dude.
Yeah,
I'm not going back there.
I don't. It is not worth it for that. I
Make a
have.
new-
Yes, I have burners stashed around in different safe houses. They're not all up to date. It'll just take time to find them.
Maybe we could find like a fantasy Barnes and Noble on the way to Catharsis to get to a replacement. Oh wait, magic doesn't exist here. Just kidding. Hey Morak.
Yes.
It could just
You-
be a regular Barnes and Noble. Get him a little moleskin notebook.
No, it's actually a Borders.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
there we go.
Y'all remember that?
Well, obviously, Borders, the #1 bookstore in all of Oberion. They beat out the barn nobles in a great war 30 years ago.
The Harry Magi campus bookstore.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Zeka will turn to Morak and be like, "Isn't your family you're a wizard? Like, aren't there other wizards in Catharsis that could maybe, I don't know, help him make a new spell book or get started on one?"
Zeka, my difficulty is not in making the spell book. It will just take time, was all I was saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
I just
like,
I need a pen, ink, and time.
and a lot of
paper.
juice.
Look, snaps his finger and shoots a thumbs up at Ode.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
no, I don't think I learned magic. My family did not, and I do not believe. We have spell stuff in the Tuskbane library, but I do not believe he would be allowed access to it.
oh, why not?
I mean,
Oh, don't get him started on that.
there's one big thing with the whole who he is and stuff like that.
Who he is?
Yeah, I mean, you know, and he's like pointing at the ears.
I see. Okay.
Oh.
Let's not all retread this point. Saith Ernilus.
He's not a Tuskbane. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm quite happy to accept any aid that can offer protection for myself and for Zeka, to be honest. Whether that is in a cabin, in a castle, or in a box on the street. As long as he's safe, will be quite happy.
Okay.
Sorry, who was Ernie talking about? As long as who is safe?
Guessing Zeka.
Up to interpretation.
Oh, okay. Are we able to overhear this conversation?
Yeah, this conversation is loud enough the whole party can
Oh,
hear.
okay. I guess Does anyone else want to ask? Oh, it's like, does anyone want to ask the question?
What question?
That Zeka, are you going to Cathartis? Because I kind of thought our plan was to not go to Cathartis right away as a group.
Oh shit, that's right. Fuck. We're sending them to Cathartis. That's what's happening, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I was so worried.
Okay.
Yeah, I was curious if we were trying to do one of those moments. Like,
Sorry,
was Zeka
that was
leaving
my
the
bad.
party?
That was my bad. I just forgot the plan.
Zeka,
Oh, you
you're...
have been hit a lot recently.
Zeka, you're
I
I
not-
got hit like a fuck ton, dude.
not going to
sorry, Ernie. I
Cathartis?
know you don't like it when I cuss, but
We're well beyond that point. You're not going to Cathartis?
no. But I would like for you to go because at some point I think the plan is to go there, right, Morak?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I still think
where,
you should go.
Where are you all headed?
We are going towards the ruins that you guys were just at.
His eyes go like wide, and regard Zeka like, Zeka, you should not go there. That place is incredibly dangerous. Even aside from the Weave Scarred that are presumably still there, there are wild magic storms rampant in the desolated plains. There are monsters just massive that will be difficult to protect you in. You should not go.
Here, I have a fun solution to this. Wait, okay, hang on. David, have we leveled up effectively at this point?
Not till long rest.
Still
Okay.
in a wild magic storm.
I have a feeling that tomorrow morning I will have an answer to whether we should go or not. But in the meantime, I will mull over that in my sleep.
Zeka, you misunderstand. He looks over the party. They all can make their own decisions, and it's dangerous, but you all seem capable. And he looks at you, Zeka. But you are... Zeka, you are 14. If you were hurt, or injured, or killed, or...
Is that the bloody aspect of him?
And it's not right to put a child in that danger. It's not right to just do that. Even if you weren't forced, even if you weren't injured, he kind of just chokes on his words for a second. Zeka, if you are out there, you might be forced to kill someone, and that's a very high toll. Why did you laugh?
Everyone just kind of goes.
I honestly thought it was something that you taught him, Ernie.
What do you mean? He looks stone-faced right now.
This child has killed almost as many people as me, and I was a fairly successful mercenary for like 2 years.
And I'll say first off that if Zeka didn't want to come because it was dangerous, then he shouldn't, but he has been the one basically keeping us alive as we ventured into the city to find and save you. And you were the one who, she kind of grimaces at Zeka, kind of left him with these goat legs and a mission to find you.
I was
legs.
running out.
Sheep legs.
I was ran out of town, and every effort I have made since then has been trying to undo my mistake. I don't want to expose him to any more risk, and you're right, I fucked up his life. I'm sorry, Zach, I know I shouldn't swear, but I fucked up his life. He should not be the one who has to fix it because of my stupid mistakes. He shouldn't be
I
throwing
agree with
himself
that.
into danger and getting himself possibly killed because of this. He should be somewhere safe, studying.
Like, I have gotten a lot of on-the-job experience, vis-a-vis the just brutal murders I've been doing. No, it's not been that bad. Well, it's fine. What I mean to say, Ernelis, is I know that on the outside I look young, and I have cheap legs, but I really do feel like I have matured well beyond my age in these past few months, and my goal has been to save you for a while now, and now that you're safe, I want to come back to see you, but also I kind of like the adventuring lifestyle. It's I don't know. I liked sitting and studying with you, but I really, really like being with these folks. And he gestures around to everyone, and I really enjoy seeing new things and learning about different people and having friends that you're willing to die for and they're willing to die for you. It's special. And yeah, I might die, but as long as I'm happy when I die, that's fine with me. And right now I'm really happy because all my friends are here. Literally every single one of my friends in my life is right here right now. Oh god, am I dying? This isn't death, right? They say like all your friends are with you when you die. They're like big fish or something. Ode was telling me about that musical.
You're not dead yet. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I don't know what you're referencing.
He's referencing the movie Big Fish.
Oh.
It started as a Broadway musical.
Oh no, Ode likes. Or my thing is that I like movies that I've turned into musicals for Ode's sake.
Yeah, Morak is the only one that actually references canonical musicals.
Okay, Morak was telling me about these.
Great Olk named Ewan McGregor. He's great.
No, I understand your issues, but I'm going to continue adventuring, and I want to fix myself, and I love you, Ernie, but I have learned that when you need something changed or you need something done, sometimes you just have to do it. You can't wait around. You know?
Ernest is just like looking around for anyone, but all of you is finding no particular support. Looks over to Joro, and Joro's just like, "Hey, man," like raises hands up, like, "Oh, no, you won't be pulling me into this." Zeka, Okay.
Come on, are you telling me that you learned all of your magical abilities from sitting in your bakery shop and just learning from a book? No. You're like super badass, and I know you didn't get that way from reading a book.
Sometimes you have to gank a motherfucker.
He looks over you. Looks at his spidery arm that is very fucked up. Curls it. It's kind of weird. It kind of loops around itself when he was clearly going for a fist. Zeka, I can't make you come with me. He walks towards you and gives you a hug. Please be safe. Come back in one piece. You don't. While I'm in Cathartis, I will endeavor to. I'll try to find a way to undo this. Gestures to his arm and to your leg. I'm not as powerful as I once was, I'll admit, but I will make it a perception check, and then actually just perception check.
Perception. 16.
But I will try. I promise. I will try to undo this for both of us. For right now, we're making camp for the night, so at the very least, let me be a teacher once again to you. Well, let me see what you've been working on. With that perception, though,
Ooh.
you do notice on Ernie's wrist, where he was coughing earlier, you see a little bit of blood.
Ah, shit.
Unless you say anything on it, though, Ernest...
Hey, there's blood on your wrist when you coughed there earlier.
Yes, well, we've scarred were not exactly gentle with me.
We can. I'll cast Cure Wounds into him. I'm not gonna actually roll for it because
Roll a d20.
Oh shit.
Wild Magic Storm.
Forgot about the Wild Magic Storm. Bum, 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 bum. What am I rolling?
D20.
Roll 1d20.
Fireball centered on yourself and kill both you and Ernest.
There we go.
13.
You don't see any wounds immediately disappear. You see him wince just a little bit, though. Seems like he's trying to suppress it. Thank you, Zeka. Let's focus on this spell for now. I'm feeling quite good.
Just for shits and giggles, I'll try a lesser restoration on him too.
Go ahead. And then roll a d20.
Oh my. Okay.
Y'all are just fishing for that fireball to erupt and kill everyone.
I want it.
Me.
Wow.
Nice.
No immediate effect, but another just wince. This one a little harder to disguise. You're able to notice it because you're right up next to him and looking for it, but...
Does this hurt you?
What do you mean?
Normally when I use my healing magic, it helps people, but you seem to be in pain.
Zeka, I am fit as an out-of-tune fiddle. Let's work on your spells for the evening, though.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alrighty. That Joro has volunteered. As you guys begin to make camp, is there anything else you guys would like to do before you kind of just wind down for bed?
I think Ken, Byron, whatever the fuck his name is, will kind of approach Annette, kind of sit next to her for a minute, silently. After a little bit, he'll just kind of turn to her and say, "Hey, I really appreciate the fact that you're going to be going with them. And, I hope for all the best for you." And he'll pat her hand, get up, go over to the fire, and he'll start preparing to tell a fairy tale from his youth.
As you go through it, or as you begin, you see a small audience gather around.
By the way, it's Peter Pan.
Alrighty, well that answered my next question. You see Major Fleet listen with Gabrielle, keeping a very close eye on her, who seems not enraptured, but kind of a return to normalcy is well received. And you even see Annette join for the evening. Joro seems to be taking a nap, and, well, Ernest is with Zeka. What is everyone else doing at this time?
By the way, he will be using Minor Illusion to add extra visuals, like of Peter and the group flying up above the fire and stuff, just kind of add to the story.
Oh, that's sick.
Artuck keeps watch. Things are going well right now, but that doesn't mean that something's not going to come out of the woods and kill us all in our sleep.
Seems good for now.
Okay.
Morax just doodling in his notebook.
Okay.
Ode will go to bed so that she can take a later watch.
Okay. That's Zeka. That's Artuck. Okay. I think with that, the night will wind down to a close. Zeka, as you work on your very long-awaited spell,
Hee.
What does it look like, taking into account that you've been working on this for a while at this point? You've worked on it yourself. You've worked on it with Morak for some time. Kezia even assisted way back when you were initially kind of conceptualizing it. And now you have Ernest here for at least the night to offer his assistance.
Okay, I think so. So Zeka's been like making a fuck ton of pop rocks. Like that's like that. Y'all have had a near endless supply of crackling candy that seems good as an idea, but then when you actually eat it, you're like, oh, it's kind of gross. And whenever Zeka tries to cast the spell, he pops it into his mouth, and you can see him. I'm trying to think of a good like the movie Jumper, whenever like they were getting electrocuted and it looked like their body was like almost glitching in and out. That's what it would look like. But he just couldn't quite make it work, and sometimes like it would explode in his face, or sometimes it would just fizzle out and nothing would happen. But point being, it wouldn't work. And I think Ernest would show Zeka just like some runes that he felt like would help channel the energy just a little bit better, on top of Zeka's usual way of doing things, unique way of doing things. And as Zeka ingests these pop rocks, which I don't know, maybe they're like they've been engraved a little bit with these runes, or maybe like as like through the candy making process he finds a way to incorporate them somehow. I can't think of exactly how that would work, but we could maybe workshop that later. Or maybe he makes a cookie, and baked into the cookie is a runic circle of these pop rocks, and as he ingests it, you guys start to see that glitchiness again, only this time you see Zeka instantly phase into a gaseous form and then ionize into lightning and shoot forward 120 feet in a straight line and then rematerialize into Zeka once again. And when he comes out of it, his hair is like super, super high on end, like, like you've seen movies. Like he just looks like a total, appropriately Doc Brown right now, with just his hair all out of whack, and he looks like he's just been like electrified with 1,000,000 volts of electricity, and there's this huge black scar on the ground from where he did the teleportation. And Zeka's like, oh, I did it! I made a spell!
Excellent.
Is there any sound?
I think it would sound like a, I don't know. What do you think? I was thinking like a plasma zip, almost like a tearing through the air.
It's not loud, but it's kind of like those old school like CRT TVs, how they kind of had like that noise to it if you got very close to it. Kind of that almost like soft crackling.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it's like that, and it's a little, and it's very quick. It's like, zoop, and he's there. And you see him like kind of stabilize himself, and he's like jumping up and down with glee, and he's like super happy.
Excellent work, my boy.
I'm just wondering how freaking scared people should be.
I'll leave that to each other person's interpretation.
Who was up?
Who was on watch? I'm gonna guess Sunny, because Sunny tends to take one of the watches.
Like, was it loud enough to wake people up?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to hop out there for a second.
Hi, I'm gonna... Will, high or low?
Hi, I'm, Zeka. Shit.
All of you hear the immediate sound of like a sonic boom, like from a lightning strike, immediately just radiate around you. Not as though you're under attack, so much as if there was a lightning strike very close to you all, and it just suddenly just... I would say that the more light sleepers among you would awaken. So I would say Ode, Artuk for sure. Sunny's already up, I imagine. Kezia as well.
Okay, Ode will wake up and reach for her spear, and then realize she has to get it back from Morak still, and then grab her her quarterstaff and like extend it.
You see Zeka celebrating towards the tree line while Ernest sits on a rock and is kind of just watching over him.
Zeka, what was that?
I made a spell.
You
I
made
did
a
it.
spell?
I did. That's what I've been doing for like so long. Did you see me? I was over there, and now I'm over here. And you see, he's like pretty far away. Like 120 feet's like pretty damn far.
Yeah.
It's like half a football field.
You actually can't hear him because he's a little far away.
Or yeah, hang on.
Are you guys just shouting?
Well, I
Sunny,
think
Sunny
I
sees
finally
him
made the
over
spell.
there.
It took me so
Sunny
long.
sees him over there.
Could y'all hear
And
that?
he says, "What are you saying?"
Sonny, what are you getting on about?
Guys, some of us are trying to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
sorry.
Oh,
And-
what's going on? Your staff's out.
well, I just woke up.
Morak picks up the sword.
It was because
But
Zeka
he's
made
still
a
sitting.
spell. So, I guess I overreacted, and she retracts it.
He made a spell.
Nice.
Yes.
Good job, lad.
Yeah, Zeka at this point will come running up. Yeah. Oh my. Oh jeez. Yes, I finally made it. I've been working on it ever since the party Grandma gave you those pop rocks. And then I saw Artuk do that crazy lightning spell, and I was like, oh shit, that's like super cool. Yeah.
Wow.
How did you finish it? Like Morak is just like dumbfounded.
He'll pull out.
Sunny is corporately excited.
Aaron's
Yeah,
gone
I
back
think.
to sleep.
Oh. Well, fuck you too, Byron. Zeka will.
Tired. And
Zeka
Carson's
will-
making a salad.
Oh. Zeka will pull out like a biscuit that he made, and it has the pop rocks. Only this time, instead of just being in a pile, they're arranged in kind of a runic circle, and they're like adhered with, I don't know, honey. And he'll hand it to Morak.
As you do that, you also see Ernest walk forward. Yes, he was telling me about the work that you two did on this, and he kind of gives you a pat on the back. Good work, lad. And to be honest, most of the work was already done. I offered him a simple rune that would help stabilize the spell, and he kind of just on a piece of paper he puts forward the Elven rune. And do any of you speak Elven?
Think?
Wait, I'm
Shaboy.
Does
Why we
Morak?
speak a forgotten language, David? It's like
And-
saying, does anybody speak Latin?
Okay, well, if you were learning magic or demonology, you would probably learn Latin for all the roots.
Uh-huh. And yeah, Zeka knows it.
In any case, Morak, it's an Elven rune of some kind. You're not sure exactly what it means. Zeka, you understand it to basically be... I'm trying to think of the exact word for it. Balance, that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, it is the Elven magical rune for balance. It basically embodies just a straight line down the middle with two spheres, one on top, one bottom, one light, one dark. Honestly, it looks like a decimal, like a division sign, but if you filled in only one of the dots.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, so that is like on the biscuit that he used to cast the spell.
Yes, I noticed he worked with some stranger magics, actually, orcish runes, which I presume are your study. Which, I must say, quite talented glyph work of you.
Thank you. Morank's just like dumbfounded that Zeka made a spell, something that only some of the strongest wizards have ever done, and he handed him a fucking cookie. And then this other dude said, yeah, it just needed one little thing.
Well, you helped me get most of the way there, Morak.
What did you do? You had a list of baked good items.
Yeah, and then we started talking about the things that you thought were missing, right? And so I incorporated that into my baking list.
We drew runes. We drew summoning circuit. What? I don't.
Yeah, and you know this one right here, and he'll pull out one of the runes. Like this shows I was supposed to be using almond flour instead of bleached flour.
I just.
Ode will go over and kind of put her hand like tentatively on Morak's shoulder and say, "Maybe we should all go to bed." But that's quite an impressive feat, Zeka.
Thanks. Did you see that, Sonny?
You're muted.
Sonny?
He reserves his judgment.
He's still in reboot mode.
Zeka's like, ah, shit. I'll show him
The
in the morning.
electrical impulse, like, turned him off.
It also
yeah,
functions
that's
as an
funny.
EMP.
Yeah, that was awesome. Sorry, I was in reboot mode. No, Sonny actually had his actual voice muted, so he was unable to talk.
But he was trying to.
He was
trying.
he was on push to talk, and he's now, pushing a tree so he can talk.
But I think I can take someone with me when I do this spell as well. Maybe not you, Sonny.
Sonny was just about to run up to him and be like, do me, do me, do me, do me.
I'm just a little nervous about turning you into electricity. I feel like I would mess something up with your whole these.
That kind of looks dejected. Like, oh, okay.
We
I
can
suppose
try.
That's all right.
No, Zeka,
no,
so
no,
you're
it's
saying
fine.
that if two people eat this cookie, they can both turn into lightning?
No, I'm the only one who needs to do it, because I'm the one who we sublimate, and then the ions get excited, and we turn into electricity, and I channel it forward in a straight line. That's what the almond flour's for, and then we show up on the other side, unscathed.
So if I eat this cookie, what would happen?
Do you want to try?
No! I want to know what would happen first.
I mean, I don't know. I've never let someone else try to do it. Like, if you think that you can channel your magic into it, then more power
I
to
have
you.
seen you cast a lot of spells, and I've seen you eat a lot of baked goods. I have never seen you actually fuck it. And Morak stands up and he walks to the spot that Zeka did, and he's gonna eat the cookie.
Zeka, would you do me a solid and roll a d20 and add... Let me see real quick. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. And add 7.
22.
Morak, you bite into this cookie. And you feel for just a second, you think you can feel the magic. It's traveling throughout your body.
It's
1,
crackling on your tongue.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was just a cookie. It was a really damn good cookie, though.
I mean, does it look like anything's happening to anybody?
Zeka's looking super close, actually expecting it to work, and he's like, Did you try thinking about becoming lightning?
Yes, of course I tried to think about becoming Lightning Zeka. Why wouldn't you?
What about going forward? Did you chew the cookie?
No, I did just eat it like a snake, Zeka. Of course I chewed the cookie. What the hell is going on? You
know
need
what?
to show me how to make this right now. You need to
Yeah,
stop
sure.
making secret baked goods. No
Ooh,
more
is it-
secret baked goods.
Is it my turn to teach you how to do my magic? Like you
I
taught me?
don't know. Is it? Because I just ate a cookie.
I think at this point, Byron will get out of his sleeping bag, kind of stoke the fire to heat it back up, put a kettle back on, and go, all right, I'm not going back to sleep. Zeka, I'm very proud of you. That was incredible. You're
I was
a great magician.
Like
that's what
Zeka,
we'll do then.
I understand that you're just like, oh, this is how this happens. And to be fair, in the grand scheme of things, this nap seems very important for the progression of our party. But you need to teach us how to make these magic cookies now.
Oh, I'm going back to bed.
I'll
Well,
take the next one.
fine, if you don't want to learn how to turn into a lightning bolt, apparently.
Okay, Morak, just me and you. I'm gonna teach you. All right, let's do this. And Zeka will fruitlessly teach Morak how to bake his spells, but it will do nothing for Morak probably.
Yeah, like David, does it make a lick of sense?
I mean, Zeka, are you basically just teaching him how to bake?
Like, kind of. I mean, that is Zeka is trying to teach him the way he casts magic and the way he casts magic
Morak,
by baking.
here's the issue. As far as you could tell, he's just baking a fucking cookie and drawing a little bit of arcane runing on it. No, you're making cookies right now. Like, if this weren't Zeka, you would swear you're just being conned into making baked goods for the group.
Zeka, I have to go take a leak for a second.
But the most frustrating part, when Zeka does it, it works. When you do the exact same thing, nothing but an above average cookie.
These are
Morak
really
just,
good
like-
cookies, Morak.
Morak just looks towards Ernalis like, what the hell? Like you're saying you just added a rune? How did you add a rune to this?
We broke it down into its fundamental part. He starts to go over the process of creating like a wider spell rune, and he just incorporates it into his. He starts speaking in terms you understand. Actually, like his teaching, he is speaking to you in arcane terms. That's they're
Like he's a wizard. Yeah.
He is expressly speaking to you in ways you understand. How Zeka is catalyzing this information into baking. You do not understand what the disconnect is for you, but he is just trying to teach you in your terms.
Okay, Eric, I'm interested in what your goal is here, other than making Morak be frustrated.
There is no goal. I just think it's funny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
I don't have a goal in this. I just think it's very funny that
It's a great scene.
this is just how Morak would react in this situation.
Yeah. And when Erno starts going over it, you start seeing like the sparks of the spell, but it seems like it is failing just by a lack of power on your part. So why the fuck does this 14-year-old kid able to do it with a goddamn cookie?
Morak's just gonna look like completely stunned at Ernie.
It makes
And
sense
he's just gonna-
to him.
He's just gonna walk off a little bit and sit next to a tree. And just put his head in his hands. and then you just don't He's just gonna be like that for the night. He's gonna fall asleep like that. Just slightly off from the party, just dumbfounded and in shock of the whole thing. And he hears some swears in Orcish. You don't know if they're swears. You hear some Orcish words.
Oh no, I don't
know. You feel like they're swears.
My, what creative language, Morak. I'm proud of you.
You no. Aren't you asleep?
Oh no, I woke up because you guys were being loud as fuck, and I started my watch.
Hey, I've had a long night, Byron.
Yep.
I don't know how you know Orcish. I'm going to go to bed now.
And as the night rolls to an end and leads into morning, you all wake up freshly awakened. You feel empowered by the day. You're all level 7, and you all begin to make preparations to move out.
Are we still amidst a wild magic storm by morning?
Yes, you are, in fact. It lasted through the night, and it just seems to be kind of dominating the sky. Which, as you see it, you just... Looking over it, it's easy to take for granted, because on a surface level it resembles a storm, dark clouds. But as the night goes on, you just see this purple iridescence overtake the entire sky. In a way, it's beautiful, but it's incredibly off-putting. You see just frequent thunderbolts just strike out, just all across the sky in just a variety of colors, and just incredible booming sounds. You see this strange dust just begin to swirl around, and just flecks of sparks of fire and frost just materialize in the air all around you. By morning, it's still in the air. It's still very much surrounding your entire group, but there doesn't seem to have been any immediate consequences for you guys at the very least. But yeah.
At some point, once we are more like settled and once our compatriots have gone, I'm interested in like having a conversation with a couple people. So I just want to throw that out there. But now in the morning seems like not quite the right time.
Unless you guys have any last things you want to do, your collected NPCs will gather the letters courtesy of Morak and begin to head out. Joro, Annette, Ernelis, Gabrielle, and Major Fleet all begin to head west towards Cathartis. You don't know their exact path, but you imagine it'll probably avoid some of the main roads for at least a little while.
Before they go... Oh wait, how strong is this wild magic storm around them?
Average. You don't have a whole lot of experience with them, to be honest.
Byron will approach Annette, take out the Heart of Chaos, put it to her forehead, and cast Fortune's Favor on her and say, whenever you need a little bit of luck, just think of me. And put it away.
Somehow none of you ever got punished for all those fucking spells. Alright. Yeah, as you do that, she says, what the... Oh, fucking whatever. And just walks off.
Please use it within the next 10 minutes, I believe. I think it wears off by then.
I suppose it's possible Kezia might have talked to her before she left, so with Brandon not being here, we can
have that scene retroactively.
Yeah.
I'll just make a note of that. You notice Miguel is still hanging out with you guys.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, you're still here?
Hello.
Oh.
You want some breakfast?
You can leave if you want.
I chose to stay here.
Well,
okay.
I mean, where am I gonna go? Do you want me to go travel with a young girl, or would you rather me fuck off into this wild wasteland? Just points at the storm, or perhaps go back to the city that I was, prisoner in. I'm gonna stay here for a bit.
Let's not give Miguel too much hassle. Now, Miguel, what do you want for breakfast? Want eggs and bacon, eggs and sausage, hardtack?
You see her say, "Oh no, I'm covered," and pull up just you don't know where she got it, but just a dead squirrel that she just puts straight onto a steak. I like it when it's just a little undercooked. Skin's still on.
Can I just do like a general sort of insight towards Miguel to get the vibe of whether I feel like she's got her own sort of agenda, she's trying to, we're advantageous to be around, or if she's just sort of sincerely has no idea what the fuck to do, or, what her sort of play is, whether she's, playing it having nothing to do and just interested in us, or if she actually feels like she's sort of just like, well, I don't know what the fuck, I'll just stick around.
Roll insight.
That's a natural 1.
Hard to read.
Gotcha.
Actually, no. You feel pretty confident that Miguel poses no harm whatsoever. Will do nothing against the party. You feel confident keeping her around will only be a positive thing.
Okay. I mean, if you're sticking around, we'd have to talk to everybody about it, but we might be able to, use a hand. Extra firepower is useful where we're going.
Let's have a little group discussion real quick.
Alright, that's totally fair.
Okay, guys, do we just want to leave? She's kind of creeping me out.
I agree. However, if I can add something, let's make sure that she can't hear or be, openly semi-antagonistic towards someone that could very easily light all of us on fire.
Well, why don't we ask her a couple questions?
Chuck and Zeka, you hear her?
She's eating a fucking squirrel that she didn't do anything to. I don't know if she's all there. I don't want to ask her questions. It's making me uncomfortable.
You see her bite it just into the squirrel. Has not been on the fire nearly long enough at all.
Anyway, it's just like, why the fuck are we even here? Let's go. This is scary. He doesn't like
this. I think she should come along.
I don't agree with that,
I generally
Sonny.
am not super trusting towards people I've just met, but I've got a weirdly good feeling about her.
I think you just have a concussion from yesterday.
That's entirely possible.
Hold up her hand.
Kezia,
goes over
if
to
you
Miguel.
agree, if you agree that we should just leave, say nothing. Let's go.
I don't know what I should do. I don't know what we should do.
Ode goes over to Miguel and says, "Miguel, tell us a bit about yourself."
Oh God.
It hasn't been a while. It's been a while since anyone who's still around has heard this story. Well, you see, I was born in a lovely, lovely city called Hollix, to two wonderful, wonderful parents who taught me about the beauty of fire.
How about a minute-long version of yourself?
Oh, I set a lot of fires in a lot of places, and apparently that made the Weavesguard angry.
Okay.
And people.
I like her.
And any other details in between you'd like to share?
I like to crochet.
Wonderful. All right, Settle of Fires likes to crochet. I'm assuming that's why you were in that prison, Settle of Fires.
No, the crochet was secondary.
Thank you, David. You read my mind.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm sure the group heard that. Maybe you could give us a minute to talk in private about our plans.
Zeka, do you happen to have any like hot sauce or anything? I don't know why.
What?
They might like. Do you have any like hot sauce, like spicy stuff that they could put on their raw squirrel? I'm just trying to distract them more.
I have like spices. Do you want some rosemary or some garlic or some
maybe
paprika?
Some let me roll intelligence. Nope. Maybe some like sugar,
You have
sugar
salt.
spicy, right?
Some sugar.
Yeah, that's spicy, isn't it? Rice? Or did I? No,
Here, I'll give them some Old Bay. I don't know.
I was trying to think of cayenne, but apparently
just
Byron
looks
doesn't
at
know
it.
what the fuck cayenne pepper is.
Well, no, that's a halfling ingredient. Only they know how to use it.
Fuck, you're right. Wait, you're trying to say that the halfling librarian he hung out with didn't teach him about cayenne?
I imagine that Byron was a lot more focused on the storybooks instead of the cooking books. She just starts looking at the Old Bay and just starts
actually,
spicing it
Miguel,
on.
how do you feel about the fact that you set those fires? Like, positive, negative,
Just makes a creepy moan.
sex noises, got it. And did those fires, like, hurt people generally?
Generally, if I could make it happen.
Great. Good, great information. I'll
admit sometimes in my youth it only got the building, but as I got on, I got a lot more experience.
Right. That looks like such a great squirrel. But I would never
Bites
ask
into the
for
head.
food. Okay, and Ode goes back to the group.
So how are you on board with me, Ode?
So you all heard that, right?
Yeah, I rescind my former statements. I am usually a better judge of character than that, and I sincerely apologize for my sudden lapse in, sense.
You see Miguel stand up and turn around to look at all of you.
We all do that cartoon version of we're all like, hi.
I think the real question is,
Can we get that Old Bay back?
You all seem very nice.
would we
I'll remember your faces. And just starts walking into the storm.
See, no, that's the thing. Can we let that happen? And Ode looks to Morak.
I don't actually think she's going to remember our faces. She just ate a squirrel.
She'll set people on fire. So she's literally going out to kill people.
I really don't care.
Ode looks to Artuk.
Fuck. This is, I don't know what to do about it. Are we gonna kill her right now? Is that what you're claiming what we should do?
Oh, no.
Exactly. Like, I can't stop her from ever having the ability to set something on fire without just ending her life. And, we just
Hey,
saved that.
Miguel, can you come back here real quick?
Already like, not a sprint,
Did
but
she
like
just
it's
start
just
sprinting?
She just started walking off. Like, you could easily catch up with her, but she is far enough away that she's basically just like
Ode
waving.
runs after her a little bit, and she's like, "You should really find a therapist. There's a really good one in the desert."
Roll persuasion.
Because Ode was about to send her to the city she grew up in, and then was like, "Fuck."
Hey Mary. Hey Mary. Good work stopping that. I was definitely getting ready for that. The desert.
That's important. I feel like she really needs to find a therapist. I'm gonna use an inspiration. Let's see, persuasion. 11.
It's been a while since I've had a therapist. Let's keep that streak going. Continues.
I think we just need to accept our loss on this one.
Right, well, we saved Gabrielle.
Yep. And Ernie.
And the other person who we let out. They might have been good.
They didn't give me great vibes either, but, I don't give off good vibes, so who am I to judge?
Oh, you give off great vibes, Byron.
I don't know. It's almost like in my bio it says that he's shady.
Ode has a terrible sense of what great vibes are.
Ode has a negative to bad vibes checks.
Up until recently, have been very good at determining that, but I think I've made a lot of lapses in judgment in a very short period of time, and it's making me really question my sanity a little bit.
I mean, it happens to everyone after a fight, man.
Yeah, but is yours mushroom-induced?
You know, you have a point.
Are your mushrooms doing something especially weird to you?
Okay, Byron, we don't have to talk about this in front of the whole party. Everybody has mushroom issues every once in a while.
What?
Does everybody?
Warwick, do you have mushrooms? And his eyes will drop, growing, there?
No, not like your mushroom, Byron. Like, Mark's looking at him like he kind of half got the euphemism, but then somehow like zagged real hard when he should have zigged.
Oh, you're talking about, okay. See, I was saying mushrooms, plural. He said mushrooms.
No, or like everyone's got a mushroom problem every once in a while. We don't need to talk about it right now. Like, it's a personal
Are you
thing.
talking
Like,
about penises?
What
talking about
Ode. Zeka is right here. Zeka is right.
What are we talking about?
Circumcised.
Zeka.
Well, it's canon now.
Right
Good
here.
work, Mary.
There's a 0% chance that Martuk is circumcised.
Yeah, exactly. So he won't know what we're talking about at all.
I just don't want to say that word around Zeka. You know, like might be a set. Like it's not. He's a young boy.
I mean, whenever I went to school, we got, like, what was called a health class in, like, when you were 11. And then
Yeah,
at the
but
end,
when you were 11, did your legs get turned into a goat?
No. Well, we also learned
Okay, I
all
don't think
about-
we should talk about it because we don't know. Because canonically, I don't think he has one anymore.
What?
Exactly.
Zaka, did your dad ever tell you about the birds and the bees?
I mean, we were more of like sheep farmers, but there was a guy down the street who had a honey production.
Did your dad ever tell you about how more sheep came to be?
How what? More sheep? Like they like fuck.
Oh, okay, then we're fine. Okay, we're good. We
I'm
don't need to worry
14.
about
I'm not like 7.
I just didn't know with the whole accidents, like how your business was down there.
Tabaxi
See, like-
genitalia are like hilariously weird. So, I mean, mushroom isn't accurate at all. I'll tell you that.
At all.
Men or women.
I mean, there's a lot of shapes of mushrooms.
Oh, there you go.
Well, either
If
way.
if I see a mushroom that looks like one, I'll point it out to you.
Interesting.
It's a non-Euclidean mushroom. She finally points out.
No, for like a tabaxi penis.
Yeah, non-Euclidean. It's a Moby
Either way,
strip.
we got off track. Bartok, are your mushrooms doing more weird things than normal?
Yeah, actually, frankly, I'm moderately concerned by them lately. Ever since that when we were fighting not too long ago, I went unconscious, and that's not normal for me. I'm usually a little more careful than that, and I haven't done it since. Slowly over time, I've been getting more and more familiar with these mushrooms, and our deal has gotten a little stronger, and I've let them reproduce a little bit stronger, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and it's a balance because I got to make sure I don't let them grow beyond what I can control. But I thought that I had it under pretty decent wraps there, that I was controlling them pretty well, until I went down there, and you know how when I take somebody down near me, sometimes I'll let my mushrooms just sort of get the corpse because they want to propagate, and it takes it over and it listens to me and stuff like that.
Hauntingly terrifying, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so the deal I made with my mushrooms that, sort of gave them the reason to stick around and help me like this is two things. One, I'll keep giving them bodies in warm-blooded places like that to, propagate and reproduce, which they really want. And two, I kind of promised them myself once I'm done with this mortal coil, as it will. They'll have more use for it than me then. And that's a perfectly fine deal. I don't really give a shit if mushrooms inhabit my body after. I kind of hope they do. It's better for decomposition. But the issue is when I went unconscious, they tried to do it anyway. Like, I wasn't dead yet. And they saw the opportunity to overwhelm me, and I barely was able to, with the help of healing magic, push enough of my vitality towards them to keep them off of me. And ever since then, I've felt them grow and grow, and I feel like all of a sudden, just overnight, even last night, the spores have gotten even stronger, and I didn't ask them to this time, and that's becoming worrisome. They're already strong enough that it's getting close to what I can handle, and they just got stronger.
Yes, that is very concerning. Remind me, do we have any leads on things that could help you with this?
Oh, we do.
Wait, what? Since when?
Well, sorry, in all of the hubbub of the city, I forgot to tell everyone that I stole a book from the library. And I was only able to read the first chapter of it, but it talked about Blightwalkers.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard the word Blightwalker outside of my herd's chief.
That's why I thought to steal it from when I saw that title in the library. Here, I can give it to you if you want, Artuk, but actually, maybe I could just read it to you as we're
Yeah, I was gonna say,
continuing along.
I need more help than there's no way I'm getting through that on my own, but if that's got I'm like, right now is a perfectly good time for me, or as soon as possible, or I don't even know what to say.
Well, I mean, we don't know quite yet if it will have useful information, but the first chapter was a little bleak, honestly. But it might have something, and all the information we can get can only help, I think. And actually, what you said was kind of interesting, because it reminded me of there are different monastic paths, right? And there's one called the Way of the Long Death, and they're really interested in what death looks like and how to prevent death, but also studying it once it's happened. And all of the monks in the Cerulean Eye that follow the Way of the Long Death have promised their dead bodies to the monastery, which some people kind of interpret as a little creepy, but it's just really a promise to promote knowledge. And so I can kind of see how your promise to your fungi is like a partnership, but I agree, it's pretty scary that they tried to take more power than they've dealt with.
Yeah, I mean, symbiosis is something that happens in nature all the time. There's lots of animals that help each other in interesting ways that, one, provides, the other takes, and so on and so forth, that they help each other. The issue is, that last, and that's what I thought was happening with me and the mushrooms here up until now, but when they tried to take me there, it started to make me realize that maybe it's not as symbiotic as I thought, and a little more parasitic, and that's dangerous.
Parasites are something that happen in nature all the time too. Right?
Yeah, you're 100% right, but I ain't never seen it go well for the thing that's being parasited on, and I don't want to be it.
Well, actually, Byron, this book I remember was in a Druidic language. Can you read that also? And Ode will hand him the book.
Let's see. Is it perhaps in Common, Primordial, or Orcish?
No, it's in Druidic.
Kind of look through it and go, I have no idea what any of this says.
I mean, Druidic, as far as I knew, it wasn't really much of a written sort of thing. Like, we would leave markings and things like that, and we knew what those markings meant. They're sort of pictures that represent individual words or things like that. It's not really like letters like Byron's been teaching me. It's more like, a picture means a word, and if you look at it right, and I'll pick up the book out of her hands, and assuming that it's the Druidic that Artuk grew up with in the herd, where they could draw out symbols that meant things, and almost more like a Chinese or Japanese sort of thing, where one character means a whole word, and it's not really reading in his mind as much as it's just looking at the pictures and understanding. Artuk speaks Druidic.
Alrighty. As you kind of pop open and go through the book, you see immediately what Ode was dealing with at first. It is a mix of Druidic and Common. It's kind of like, it seems like it's a collected tome from various different Druidic factions over many years, but all being compiled by this one author. Let me see if I can find the name.
Sure.
Okay.
I pull in Ode and Byron and anyone else who's interested to try to help me with the common parts, and I do the druidic parts, and together we sort of can make progress here.
Okay. Give me just a second.
Sure. And outside of this, Byron, as far as your whole any leads towards it thing, I do have something. I mentioned it a little bit that I know where I'd look next if I was alone trying to figure this all out, and it's a ways away from here. But back in the woods where I grew up, there was a sort of I thought it was sort of a myth, just a tall tale they told us to keep us scared of what we were supposed to be. But there's supposed to be this sort of mythical oracle type figure that was in the woods where I grew up, and I think that since I left, I've been visited a couple times by her in dreams, and the most recent one, which is a while back now, but the most recent one, she sort of beckoned me back and essentially said that she had something she wanted to show or tell me back in the woods that I grew up in. And everything she said so far has been related to, it's how I learned to even control these instead of just letting them parasite on me and hurt the things around me and things like that. How I came to start making agreements and having control in general. So she'd be my next goal. But now I have a book, so that's interesting too, and I want to see what this is.
Yeah, that seems like a head of a lead. Byron will turn towards Morak and Sonny and be like, I know that you guys are wanting to head further north right now and, check out the other mind flaler stuff, but... And he'll kind of turn back to Artok and be like, but this seems very pressing. I'm not really wanting to run the risk of losing Artok to these mushrooms.
Perhaps it's a bit presumptuous of me to say it, but I think that I still have, as long as I'm not going down all the time and I can keep myself up like normal, I've got enough control to keep it in check a little longer. But if we, wanted to do this thing up north, and then as soon as we're done with it, head that way, and then there's another mind flaler sort of encampment we found on the map, or one of these ruins that's kind of near where I grew up. It's on the water there, but it's like, you could leave from a port pretty near where I grew up and get there pretty quickly. So I feel like maybe if we do the thing up north here, then head in that direction, it sort of suits both purposes, and we can just make my thing a little pit stop on the way.
Alright, I guess I'll just have to, clap him on the shoulder. I guess I'll just have to make sure to keep you right, happy, and healthy. I'll stick right by you.
Just to clarify, were you talking about... So, you guys are about here.
Yep.
Are you talking about going to this one and then heading this way, or are you talking about going to this one?
I was saying that, so we're here. My path that I was sort of presenting there was...
Going right there.
Yep. And then, our journey back, whatever that looks like.
Are you more near Gautera or more near that
so
island?
Right here is where I'm from, these woods here. But then we could go to the shore.
I bet it'd be relatively easy to get to this port city here and then sail over to Gautera too.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. So do something like this and then take the water the whole way over. Stop by the woods here for a sec, and then keep sailing over and do the last place we know about. And then after that, we could take the coast down towards Cathartis if we want to.
I think that sounds like a great plan.
Alrighty.
Go team.
Yeah.
Good work, guys. You figured out the campaign direction for me. Thank God. All right.
We were able to go back to that map and draw in that path.
Oh, you guys will fucking remember it. Your guys' plan
I
is go to the place you're already going and then go to the nearest port. It's not that hard.
Yeah. It's literally just all of our story hooks, but just in progression of how far away they are.
Yeah, the only thing that could fuck this up is if I literally threw you through the world. Which we'll see. But, okay, do you start, reading... Okay. Where are you guys beginning to move as you read this Blight book?
Can we do that?
Yes, you'll move a little slower, but honestly, caution in the midst of a storm is not a horrible idea.
Well, I'd say that's what I would tend towards if we can.
Okay. Then, I want you guys to all just roll initiative for me.
Initiative.
Yes.
All right.
This will just be an easy way of... Don't worry.
I'll wait for you to put up the counter.
Oh, right.
Natural 20. I didn't wait, sorry.
Oh, wow.
That's fine.
Oh, you big roller over here.
Yeah, right? Here, I guess I can add myself, but I'll just bump it up whenever I roll.
And if we're like walking and talking, I can have Ode talk to people during the day.
Alright, Art.
I need to select. There we go. Sorry. Re-familiarizing myself. Did I roll a second?
Uncanny, actually. Okay.
Okay. Two
Waste
natural
all
20s.
those natural 20.
Artuk,
He's
Byron.
very excited about this book.
I mean, to be fair, like, Artuk is one-track minded right now as soon as he pulled that book out.
I can roll for
Especially with-
Sunny.
Sure.
If he comes back, we'll just add him to the end of the order.
Perfect. I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Wunderbar.
Okay. How do you guys begin to... Artuk, set the pace. How are you guys beginning to move? I'm assuming you're moving towards those general ruins. I will say that is like a general location. You're going to have it's not quite so specific once you're in the midst of the area. It would get you to like... It would get you an approximate location, but narrowing down where those exact ruins are is going to be difficult.
Alright, so I'm starting it here?
Yes, you anticipate this will take a bit of time. This is not going to be a one-day journey. So how do you begin to move towards... into these blighted plains?
I figure that we're moving through dangerous terrain. Possibly, we just upset a hornet's nest of Weavesguard at our back. We don't know exactly where we're going, and there can be lots of danger on the way. I will take the next few days when I'm not completely in the book, and I will just be our watchful eye, watch over everything. I'll let other people do the work while I sort of just make sure at all times to be diligent. There is nothing on the horizon coming towards us.
Okay, what would you like that roll to be?
Perception.
Okay, go ahead.
19.
Okay. With that, you guys begin to move into this just, for lack of a better word, blasted wasteland. Like I said for the previous night, with regards to the storm itself, which is just ever present, there's this iridescence to the sky and just this perpetual crackling of thunder and lightning bolts. This frost, this fire, this ash, everything seems to just swirl around you, and everything has this almost electric energy to it. Sunny isn't here, but it's every one of you. There's just this electricity to your skin that makes your hair just stand on edge at every moment. Artuk, as you guys move into the Forsaken Plains, what is the geological feature that first catches the party's attention?
We lost the turn order.
I would say that it's probably like, if it's this rugged and cracked, then just like the ground itself and sort of, Artuk's very efficiency minded here, trying to make sure that they're not walking towards any crevasses or holes or anything that could cause them danger. And so for him, the thing he's focusing in on is the destroyed terrain in front of them and what parts seem the least destroyed and how to maneuver that.
Okay. As you're going through, it's interesting. All around you, you see just bits of just blasted earth. All around it. It varies between just kind of more general landscapes. So, you're walking along dirt, and then just plant matter, just grass, trees, and the like. But all around you, there's just this sense of like foreboding energy to it. And as you guys pass a particular clearing, you see just hefted in front of you is just this grand, massive, like hemispheric hole just drilled into the ground. Probably about, I would say about 10 meters at its radius, and just drilled directly into the ground. And at the very edge of it, the ground is just perfectly smooth. But as if something like ripped it out, or it was just suddenly like whisked away in an instant. Byron, what do you?
I was gonna say. He's going to think about, you guys have probably noticed that during the nights when he's supposed to be keeping watch, he's been sitting there with the Heart of Chaos to his skull, just watching different possibilities. I think he's going to look at this hole, think about other things that he's seen himself do in those possibilities. I think he's going to start investigating it to see if perhaps, I don't know, a black hole created these.
What would you like the roll to be?
I would say probably investigation.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. That's a natty 1. I think that's fitting.
As you move through...
He's been upping possibility for too long.
As you move through, and you just decide ultimately to move towards it. Ultimately, nothing about this is immediately dangerous other than its peculiarity. So you begin to just kind of move into the kind of crater, moving through it. You see just blasted rocks on the other side. And as you approach the center... Did someone just say something?
I got an email.
Oh, weird. Heard something. As you move towards the center, though, all of you just... You see the sky darken once again. And then darken further. And all around you, you see it just as if all the light in the world just went away. You see just this sphere begin to fill with just some kind of magical darkness.
Yup.
Ode.
You'll start backpedaling.
Ode, what's your immediate response to this?
I kind of like to play Ode as like a curious cat. Like, kind of like, oh, let me see what this is. But in the same way of cats, of like, if there's anything at all that's like, oh, that could hurt me, like immediately being like, nope, I was never even close to it. So I think she might like almost like creep behind Byron a little bit, but then as soon as like a black thing starts forming, even though like as a shadow monk she'd be comfortable in the shadows, like she will instantly like then move to be behind the party and kind of like gesture the party to also move away with her.
As you all do, and as you begin to gesture... Oh, go ahead.
I'm assuming I'm having a hard time getting out of this fucking crater.
It's like walking up a slide, honestly. You can do it, it's just difficult.
Needed to check.
I guess if Byron looks like he's in danger, she would stay back and help Byron, but probably...
You see this kind of just well of darkness begin to fill it almost like just this pool... And it rush out and begin to encapsulate, and you see Byron disappear underneath it, and it begins to advance towards the rest of you.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I guess then, like, did you want me to say that Ode, like, moved away and moved behind the group, or was at the front and saw it take Byron?
I'm just giving you a second motion to this, just so the thing you did isn't just walk behind the group.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can basically just, as you do that, you see this happening, and then you see Byron not be pulled underneath, but it kind of rise above him.
Okay. Ode will be like, oh, fuck. And then she will, I guess, try to see if she can shadow step into that darkness.
You absolutely are able to.
Ooh.
Can you see in the dark?
That's a cool sentence, by the way. See if I can shadow step into that darkness.
Yeah, you're right. Ode has dark vision, so she can see in the dark, but she cannot see in the spell cast by the spell darkness, because no one can, unless you have like a special ability.
I'm trying to think whether this is magical darkness or magically summoned darkness, because it's a very fine line. You know what? Fuck it. It's cooler if you can see it. All right. As you look in, as you teleport in, you feel this almost just like liquidness to just where you are. It's almost like being in the pool once you are below the darkness, and you see Byron in there. Byron does not see you, and he's just—it's as if floating in the bottom of a pool of just this resistance all around you.
Fuck! I should have left a rope with someone.
We're gonna go over to. Well, one more thing, Ode.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'll make my way over to Byron.
You're able to move through it, and you just feel cold. Just cold throughout it. Make a perception check real quick.
Alrighty. Ooh.
At the very base, like at the very base where it would be like the tip, for lack of a better word, to this kind of crevice, you see a glyph that is imprinted at the very bottom. It's a clearly arcane glyph of some kind, but I don't know if Ode has a whole lot of experience with it.
Okay.
Zeka.
Yeah.
What do? You see Ode teleport into the darkness.
I'm gonna look to Sunny and see what he's doing.
Is Sunny back? Sunny is not back. Sunny seems resolute.
Okay, I think I'm gonna keep my eye out and make sure no other weird stuff happens. So just kind of being ready.
Roll investigation or perception or survival. Your call.
I would like to do perception. Shit.
Focus towards the darkness. It's hard to see.
Man, just these are great lyrics, guys. We should keep workshopping this.
I shadow step into the darkness, and as you focus towards the darkness,
it's hard to see.
Morak. You hear something. You hear something just at the very edge of your perception. Some kind of creature, undoubtedly. But as you have this split second of something's nearby, and you kind of reach for your weapon, or rather begin the motions to summon it. You see a pack of some kind of creature appear before you. What does this creature look like?
It's a large green, it's not scaly, but it looks somewhat lizard-like. Extremely muscular, long tail. Somewhat like, kind of like a mix between like a lizard and a panther. But it just has like a weird, smooth, almost wet-looking skin. It has a large mouth with sharp teeth, and it has a large tongue sticking out of it.
Okay.
And they're just kind of like crawling on all fours.
Okay.
Somewhat like a green Salazzle from Pokemon.
Alrighty. How are they regarding the party? They basically materialized at the edge of where this kind of ring is.
They are creatures of need. If they have just eaten, they would not pay any mind and probably scurry away. If they have, they'd probably investigate and possibly try to eat us.
Okay. Artuk. Do you think these things are hungry?
Oh man, can I roll insight to take a look to see, a look in their eye?
You absolutely can.
All right. Close my character sheet. Wait.
How dare?
And it is that one. 8. There's 17.
So, as you look around, you know animals decently well, and as you look over, you see you don't know these animals in particular, but you can see they're clearly predatory, but look a little more like a scavenger, similar to what Morak was describing. You see some of them have eaten. You see like little bits of viscera and like blood at like towards their mouth, but not all of them. You get the distinct sense that this could go either way.
Sure.
Byron, you feel Ode grab onto you in the darkness.
Well, it can't. It's a cat paw. Which one he'll probably just grab onto her wrist and attempt to say thank you, but I'm not sure if that's possible given the liquidy state.
Kind of as you open your mouth, just like this rush, it just fills your mouth just immediately.
Ooh, how's it taste?
A little bit like licorice, I suppose. Like licorice with, I don't know, nutmeg. It's a strange flavor combination. Something you.
It doesn't sound that bad.
It's not unpleasant, but it's just not what you'd expect.
Yeah, I'd expect like something horrifically bitter and gross.
Well, you got out of this one lucky.
There we go. Okay, that's all. Keep going. Keep moving along.
Okay, Ode, what do? You see Byron take a big old mouthful of this liquid licorice nutmeg combination.
Okay, Ode, seeing that glyph at the bottom, is going to, like, not know if Byron can see in the dark or not, because I know they can with his warlock shit, but don't know if he can as a bard. And anyway,
his eyes just darting around, clearly not seeing anything.
Okay, Ode is going to grab a dagger from his waist and then like push him in the right direction of like if he were to walk forward, he would continue like up towards like the top of the crater, like away from the glyph.
Okay.
And then if possible, she's gonna shadow step to the glyph if it's been 6 seconds.
You absolutely can, yeah. You are at the glyph. What do you want to do with it?
I want to try to take the dagger and like cut through it.
Roll an attack.
Ooh, okay. I don't have a dagger, so I'll use my spear because it would be the same +2 attack.
Okay. As you take this borrowed dagger to this glyph, you look at it. It's a little difficult just through whatever this material is, but you manage to just stab into it, and you notice at the very base, wherever this glyph is carved into, this particular section looks more man-made. Like you can see like very small hints of like tiling. It seems at the edges it seems like blasted off much like the rest of it, but whatever it is, this was at the very least once part of something man-made. But as you push your dagger into it, you are able to just shatter that tile. It seems like it has seen a lot of time and age, and the magic immediately just crackles for a second, this brief pulse of light, and you see the darkness just begin to fade from in front of you. That's as if evaporating before your very eyes. And over the course of a few seconds, just that same kind of material that you guys were suspended in for a bit begins to evaporate as well.
That was cool as hell. That was probably the coolest thing I ever did.
I will say, for the sake of simplicity, Zeka, you see this darkness dissolving, but you also see these kind of salamandra-looking monsters on the other side, kind of regarding the party. You're not sure exactly whether it's go time, whether it's time to wait, whatever, but you are aware of them.
Can I make an insight check on the Sallies?
Can you pick a different one because Artuk made the insight check as well on them
Oh,
specifically?
shit. How about animal handling? I'm gonna toss him a biscuit.
Okay.
A lizard biscuit. That's a 10. It's not, so it's an average biscuit.
It was a little limp.
It was a little limp. I
swear
tried
to
to throw
God,
it,
Adam.
but it hit a tree.
It hits a tree, and you're very keenly aware of the fact that you just tossed food at them and missed. Here's the other issue. These creatures are very keenly aware that what you just threw was food. And maybe you have more. Morak.
Oh no, I gave the mouse a cookie.
Morak.
Pulled out popcorn on the beach.
Fucking gulls are gonna be everywhere. Morak, what do you want to do? You see these things. You get the sense that a fight's about to break out unless otherwise stopped. Or those things are given a reason to fuck off.
I've already drawn my longsword.
You can, yeah, absolutely.
Has nothing to get creatures to go away. Literally designed for things to come towards him.
They might be scared of fire.
That's what I'm thinking. That's all I got. Morak is going to ignite with the long sword. He's going to step to the front of the party, brandish it towards the creatures, and ignite it with a green flame blade, and kind of just wave it and try to be like, get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Roll intimidation. Okay, 14. Okay. How does this look like as these creatures disperse? Morak, as you begin to ignite your blade, what does it look like as they are very clearly intimidated and will run off?
It's like a typical like any creature that like a big fire pops up in front of them. They immediately get scared and become very animalistic, and like you see it in their eyes. They just get scared, rear back, and just scurry away really fast.
Okay. Yeah, and this pack of what would you like their name to be?
I like Feralids.
As you guys move further.
Hex back up from the bottom of the crater.
Yes, you and Byron are rescued from the bottom of the crater. But as you guys all regroup and just kind of begin to make your way further into just these blasted plains, you are able to eventually find cover as you just spend the end of your second day honestly just adjusting to the fact of none of you, Morak, Ode, Byron, because none of you have ever seen or read or heard of a Feralid before, or anything even closely resembling it. You get and you can't help but feel this, between just that random magic glyph just being left out for anyone to stumble across, and these monsters just waiting on the horizon for any easy prey, you have a feeling that things in this area are going to be... You have a feeling you're going to have to tread lightly if you want to get through it. That would have been a good place to say, and that's the end of the session on that closer. Damn it!